let's talk about one of the greatest heroes ever, the legendary archer, Arjuna. But, this isn't going to be one of those classic victory tales. Nope, this is about what happens when a hero's power just, poof, vanishes. It's a fascinating one, so let's get right into it.
Yeah, seriously, what does happen when a legendary hero loses their power? I mean, think about it. Imagine being the absolute best at what you do, the top of your game, and then one morning, you wake up and it's all gone. That's exactly what Arjuna faced, and figuring out why, well, that's where the real lesson is for all of us.
Okay, so to really get what's going on, we gotta rewind a bit and set the scene. The massive Mahabharata war, that's ancient history at this point. There's a kind of fragile peace in the land. But here's the thing, the whole era of gods and heroes walking the earth, it's winding down.
And things start to happen really, really fast. We're talking 36 years after that big war. First, there's this awful, self-destructive conflict that just wipes out the Yadava clan. Then Lord Krishna himself, Arjuna's guide, his divine protector, his best friend, he decides his time on Earth is done. And when he leaves, it triggers this prophecy. His incredible golden city, Dwarka, is about to be swallowed by the sea. So, right before he departs, Krishna gives Arjuna one final incredibly important mission. He says, Arjuna, I need you to go to Dwarka before the sea takes it. Gather the women, the children, the elderly, everyone who's left, and get them to safety in Indraprastha. I mean, talk about pressure. The lives of thousands of people are now resting squarely on Arjuna's shoulders, and his alone.
Of course, Arjuna accepts. He's Arjuna. For a guy who stared down entire armies, escorting some civilians should be a walk in the park, right? Well, what happens next is something absolutely no one saw coming. It's basically a hero's worst nightmare about to become reality.
So, as Arjuna is leading this massive convoy of people through the wilderness, they get attacked. And you're probably thinking, okay, it's gotta be demons or some rival king's army, right? Some epic challenge. Nope, it's a small group of just regular robbers, common thieves. For the mighty Arjuna, this should be like a joke.
And at first, that's pretty much how he treats it. The stories say he just smiled. Super confident, he reaches for his legendary bow, the Gandiva. I mean, this is the weapon that literally took down the entire Kaurava army. He probably thought this whole thing would be over before it even started.
But then, the unthinkable happens. The man who was once this unstoppable force of nature, a destroyer of armies, suddenly finds he can't even lift his bow. Can you imagine? The Gandiva, his divine weapon, felt impossibly heavy in his hands. All that strength he had known his entire life, the very power that defined who he was, it was just gone. And this was a complete and total system failure. It wasn't just that he felt weak. His mind went blank. He tried to call upon his celestial weapons, his incredible astras, but he couldn't remember the sacred words, the mantras, to activate them. So he just stood there, helpless, completely powerless, while these common robbers looted everything and dragged away many of the women he had promised Krishna he would protect. The world's greatest warrior was utterly and humiliatingly defeated. I mean, just try to put yourself in his shoes. The shame, the confusion, his entire identity, everything he thought he was, just shattered in an instant. So broken by this devastating failure, Arjuna starts a different kind of journey. Not a journey of battle, but a quest for an answer. He has to know what happened to him. He's just overcome with grief, totally defeated, weeping, and he makes his way to the only person in the world who might have an answer, the great sage Maharishi Vyasa. I mean, who better to ask than the guy who literally wrote the Mahabharata, right? Arjuna basically collapses at the sage's feet and tells him everything. And the question he asks, it's just raw. It's tearing him apart. He asks, where did it all go? My strength, my power, where did it go? How could the hero of the Great War fail so completely against a handful of nobodies? He's just desperate for any kind of explanation. And this is the moment we get to the absolute heart of the story. Vyasa doesn't give him some magic potion or an easy excuse. Instead, he delivers a revelation, a profound truth that's going to completely reframe everything Arjuna, and maybe we, thought we knew about power. Vyasa looks at him and says, Arjuna, do not grieve. Your purpose, your role, has been served. That incredible world-shaking power you had, it was never really yours. It was a gift.
It was channeled through you because of the divine presence of Sri Krishna. While he was here, by your side, you were invincible. Now that he has left this world, that power has left with him.
Whoa! I mean, that changes everything, doesn't it? Suddenly, this isn't just a story about one hero's failure. It becomes this timeless, universal lesson about strength, about the danger of ego, and about realizing that there are forces at play in the universe that are so much bigger than any one of us.
And then Vyasa explains the ultimate force behind all of this, time. In Sanskrit, samai. He tells Arjuna that time is the single most powerful thing in existence. It's time that gives and it's time that takes away. The purpose for Arjuna's divine weapons and his incredible strength was fulfilled. Their time was up. And the lesson is profound. Time is powerful. The individual is not.
And this is where we can pull some really powerful lessons for our own lives. Arjun's story is this incredible reminder that our skills, our talents, our strengths, they're often gifts, you know? They're not things we own forever. It's our ego that tricks us, that whispers in our ear, hey, that's all you. You did that. But what this story suggests is that true strength, real power, comes from humility. It comes from recognizing and being grateful for the source of our abilities, whatever you believe that source to be.
And so the story of Arjuna's final, devastating battle leaves us with a really potent question to think about for ourselves. The next time you succeed, the next time you feel strong and capable and on top of the world, just take a second and ask yourself, what is the true source of my strength? It's a question that can change how you see everything.